Hi guys, I want to do a demo on NetBootXYZ. What this is it's a boot system that will boot off your network. I'm not going to tell you how to install it. You can find other videos on how to install this NetBootXYZ. You can use Docker. Docker is probably the best way. And if you go on their site, they have a good documentation on how to install it. I'm going to go over some of the stuff that they kind of leave out or they kind of don't show usually. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is the menu option. So the menu by default is the menu.ipxe. You can override what menu it goes to by setting a variable and telling it to go to a particular menu in this setup. So if you look here, it says is set menu, and this is a menu variable. Go to that menu option. So what I've done is I've overridden this menu variable, and I told it to go to this option here, custom user. And I've modified the chain so it goes to this custom.ipxe. So by default, when the menu loads up, it goes to custom user and loads this custom ipxe file. In order to do that, you have to create a custom ipxe file by going here. So let's take a look. So you would create the custom ipxe file by going to right here, create new, and you create custom.ipxe, but I've already created that. So let's go here. And as you can see, in this custom IPXE, I've just got one option, which is 9.5 auto install Kubernetes. So what happens is that when the system boots up, it'll override the main menu and it'll go to my menu here. Now, you can also override a couple other things, which is in the local vars IPXE file. You can put basically a live endpoint where you can, let's say you don't want to go to the internet for your ISOs and all your information. You want to go locally to where you have things stored. You put your live endpoint here, and you can also override the MAC addresses. So the MAC addresses are Ethernet or adapters on your card, special identifiers on your cards where you can identify each device. So let's just say you have like 5 computers in your house. So let's just say you have 5 computers in your organization, and you want to specify which computer loads which OS. So what that allows you to do is you can set the MAC address to have each MAC address to have its own variable customization. So for example, I have a computer on my VM which has this MAC address. I will override the host name. So each MAC address will have its own host name, and I can do an unintended install, which means it would be an automated install of where I don't have to type anything. It just boots up and it installs everything, and then it's done. And I can do this for 5 or 6 devices. So I'd have I set the host name, the repo, and all that separately, and I've overridden it for this particular device. And then there's another option you can use with Kickstarter. So Kickstarter is an option that you can do automated installs with Red Hat. I'm using Rocky, and let's just give a quick show on how it kind of works right now. So if I go here, I go to virtual machines, I go create VM, and I then type in test VM. We're going to call it test VM. We'll do NetBootXYZ. We'll just put anything here for now because I'm going to update the driver there afterwards. So then I'm going to have a storage volume here. So if I go disk 1, I go to test volume. We'll make it 50 gigs because that's how much my automated install needs. Creating, okay. Oh, that's my RAM. All right, so sorry about that. I need at least 8 megabytes of RAM to start it up. Create an edit. Then I'm going to modify my network address to point to the network installed, the network where it's attached to. And I'm going to start it up. So let's start up the VM. On boot order, I'll just make it network so we can, so it boots up off the network. Let's install it. So it's going to start up with the VM. And basically, it's going to install the auto install. So by default, it's going to go to the custom user because I've overridden that menu variable. So give it some time. And there you go. It's booting up off the NetBoot. And now it's at the kernel, and now it's going to just install. So this is going to basically install Kubernetes, a template for Kubernetes to install on my thing, because I don't have it. What I've done is I've said if it doesn't have a host name installed, ask for a host name. So if I do host name Dave, for example, that's going to be the host name, and it's going to load the environment. So I had a couple things customized for the MAC address. So the MAC address, this won't boot up. It will just continue to flow, and the host name would be already set. So let me share with that setting with you. So if I go here and I go to the MAC address, see how I have the host name set here, and if you look at the custom IPXE, you see if the host name is set, bypass this, so it won't do this. This is only if this host name is not set, it will run through these commands. So that's how it kind of works. Let me think if there's anything else I'd like to share. I don't think so. So that's how the install works, and let me know what you guys think. Thanks.